What's the reaction in Argentina of you being the recipient of this year's Astrid Lindgren Memorial Award?
Well, it was a huge interest about me, about my work, and about the prize. And I think in Argentina they are very proud. And I had many interviews, and some people I've never met before. Now they are interested, and it's nice because with this kind of awards, they think that maybe literature for children is important. So that's nice.
You're an artist working in many fields. I mean, you are an illustrator, cartoonist, painter, graphic artist, poet, singer and composer. But how would you describe yourself as an artist?
I like to test different fields, and I like, I don't know how to say, désafí, new adventures, but the core is always the same. I feel like a girl who is playing with her thoughts and her skills and trying to develop new games and to show something interesting for the other people to communicate. So even if it looks like I do so many different things in the point zero, they all start at the same point, and all the things I do, they have in common some kind of sensibility or way with some humor and different styles, but it's like the same way. So I think I have some view, and I try to put this view in different fields, but all are connected.
You've also said in an interview that in art you must challenge yourself. It's like playing. It's the only way to discover new things. So in what way do you challenge yourself?
Well, for example, in each book I try to find a new thing. Maybe it's about the technique, or maybe it's about the format. The idea is always different, because I like to amuse myself too, and I like to challenge the things that I know. For me it's kind of boring to repeat, and I don't know, it's it's like a game, but a serious one.
You've also said that children and young adults are not your target groups. So who do you have in mind when working on a new project?
Do you think if I think about what kind of reader?
Yes, I'm going to produce a book for children 5 to 8 years, for example.
No, I don't used to think about ages. I can guess about, maybe this book is more for girls, or maybe it's more for little. But my wish is that you can enjoy the book even if you have 2 or 20 or 60. Because I think this kind of books have this possibility.
You have said that a picture book in fact has 2 authors, one text author and one illustrating author. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, for me it's so obvious that the illustrator is an author. The thing is about the word, sometimes it's difficult because it's said that the author is the writer. For me, it's a writer and it's an illustrator. In picture books, mostly, it's really impossible to deny the illustrator of authority. Because the illustrator has to create aesthetic, a way to narrate the story. There's so many decisions you have to do as illustrator. It's so important for the book. You have an opinion as an artist, so it's not like you are only decorating the book. It's not that all the ideas are in the writing, not at all. And this is a confusion about I don't know, books for learning to read. That you need the picture to comprehend the text, but in the books that we do, it's another language, not a minor one. It's very important, and you have different tools, but they are very tricky ones, and you have a whole landscape to choose things as illustrator. You can see if you change the illustrations with the same text, you can have thousands of different books, because the illustrations have this possibility, and you as illustrator you can change the way in which the reader reads the text, because the illustrations have this power.
And you have made illustrations for stories by Paul Auster and Jorge Lyon, for example. What was it in their works that appealed to you?
Well, in the case of Jorge Luján, he's a poet. So for me it's very important and interesting to deal with poetry. It's as illustrator you feel so free in a way, and you have this responsibility about to be a poet on images, because poetry is so open to meanings, and as illustrator you have to continue with this opening. You can't fix the words in an only image. So the books that I did with Jorge are very plastic, are very arty in a way, because I feel so free about the story. I don't have to narrate a specific story, a character. So it's interesting, because you in that kind of books I feel more author than in others, because really the poem is already closed in a way. So if you want to dialogue with this poem, you have to find something interesting too, and not only the same things. You have to put something new, something that enrich this dialogue. So it's very, very fun for me. And Paul Auster, it's a great writer, and the short story that I illustrated. The short story that I illustrated is very appealing. It has so many climates, and I like the emotions that brings the story. Yes.
Now, if you think back of all the works that you have done, what book are you most proud of?
Oh, it's very difficult. It's like children, you know. Yeah. But I have some hit points maybe, and which, for example, to have a duck is useful. It's the one that is a box with a leporello inside. I'm very proud of it because I think it's sharp and simple and complex in the same way. It's very difficult to find for me. So I like the concept very much about to seeing the same situation from two different points of view. And in some other books I deal with this thing. I like to touch this thing about move yourself from your own point of view. I think it's very rewarding to do that. And I like many books, but the last one, it's strange too, and it was a challenge because I use an ink that is very strange and it glows in the dark. So Nocturno, yeah. And I really enjoy when I see how children loves the book. But the book before I love very much. It's Griselda. It's about a princess, but I know it's maybe is not so easy for the readers. But I'm very proud to have some books that are not so easy at the first time.
Okay. Final question. Speaking about children, you're a mother of a 1-year-old boy. Yes. Has that made any impact on you as an artist?
Well, the first impact is I have less time to work, but it's nice in a way because I can go to the point quickly sometimes. And I'm doing a new book that it has to do with babies. And yes, maybe I will see in the next books what happened, because I can't. It's in each book I amuse myself about what happened. So I think it will be a process. But in this moment, I can enjoy some books that some years ago I didn't enjoy. For example, because I share with my baby some different books with some stories that at the beginning it was I'm not interested, but now it's interesting to see from his eyes from a bit and to share with him. So